FULCRUM, a Star Wars podcast. Your way of tapping into the Force from a galaxy far, far away. Hello there.
Hello, what have we here? Here's where the fun begins.
Count me in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to FULCRUM, a Star Wars podcast where today we are going to be discussing the latest arc in Star Wars Andor. This is Andor Season 2, Episodes 7 through 9, titled Messenger, Who Are You, and Welcome to the Rebellion. They were all directed by Yanis Metz and written by Dan Gilroy. I am Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, buddy?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here, and crazy timing. First Wednesday of the month, the tornado sirens are blaring right now. It's like I don't know. It's officially on. The rebellion.
We
is
did
here.
decide to start. We did decide to start recording at 10 a.m. on the first Wednesday of the month. Maybe that's on us. Maybe that's on us a little
honestly,
bit.
kind of
because they are going over here as well.
Fulcrum. You know, we're broadcasting. Well, this is I don't know. It's kind of perfect timing. But no, yeah. This oh my God. They're doing it. They're doing the thing.
A, man. Fucking A. Yeah, this was I mean, hard to watch. Let's start spoiler free. You know, last week we had the pleasure of being 6 days removed from the release of the episode, so we didn't really have to do it spoiler free. But today is 1 day removed, so let's go ahead and start spoiler free a little bit. Fuck. Yeah. It's hard.
It's heavy.
It's hard to watch something that I don't know is a fictional depiction of one of the greatest evils in the history of fiction, and it just doesn't feel too fake.
Yeah. It's hard to make it not political, or hard to make it not real world. Which is crazy that we're seeing aliens and blasters, and you know, we're in a galaxy far, far away. But you know, always from the jump, you know, it was Vietnam, it was the Viet Cong, it was, and then when you know, it's always evolved as time has gone on, and I think, I don't know if we just live in a spicier time. You know, the world is definitely heating up, it seems, and yeah, what a more, I don't know, this just gets me, at least in the Star Wars spirit of, you know, it finally hope, the word, you know, it's getting higher, or I don't know, the hope is filling up. It's not seeming so gloom and dim, even though these episodes got very, very dark the whole time.
No, and that's you're very right. There is still it is quintessentially Star Wars in that the most brutal thing you can imagine probably ever happening on screen in Star Wars, which is wild. Happens on screen in Star Wars.
Yeah, we've got Order 66, and this is way, I don't know, this is...
It's, I mean, there's... Order 66 is devastating. It's just the fact that it's not as real as this is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little different. It's a little different. I'll say that. But...
Jedi can defend.
To see the most devastating, brutal action taken on screen we've seen probably in Star Wars, and to still leave these episodes with a sense of things will get better. And not only do we know things will get better, you know, that helps. But it is kind of a reminder that you have to believe things will get better, or else they never will. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean that in the real world sense as well. Like, I appreciate that is a sense this show gives me, because it's really important to believe that, you know, regardless of whether or not it's easy to. You have to believe that things aren't going to be like this forever.
Or else they've won. Yeah, their goal, I don't know, the goal has been achieved. It's sad that even when that moment was realized for some in the episode, they still kind of realized it was a bit too late, you know, it's just, sometimes it is a true David and Goliath, you know, it's an insurmountable, I don't know, it's impossible, for some battles, but the at least the feeling is there. I feel like it's this the seeds are being planted. And it's one little from Nimic back in season 1 telling Cassian something has ripple affected and had a butterfly effect on so many other people, and it's one line, or just one little interaction can change a person forever, and then that changes everyone else they interact with, and so on and so forth. And I love that they're just kind of showing this kind of the butterfly effect. Oh, yeah, come on, man. Yeah, what?
It's too good.
Too many. The tears. Yeah, there was a lot of just holy fuck tears, and then there's like, yes, the good juice. So the hope tears.
Yeah, week 1, I got like vaguely teary eyed. When Brasso went down, I got vaguely teary-eyed whenever he gave that first monologue at the very opening. That was just kind of like, we're so fucking back, where he was like, this is you coming home to yourself and stuff like that. That really hit for me. Last week we took it up a notch a little bit. Cinta going down really fucked me up. That wasn't good. I'm a mess, dude. I'm a mess during these episodes. Like, it was specifically episode 9. When it came to episode 8, I was kind of numb.
Shocked.
It reminded me, and I texted you that it reminded me of one thing very specifically. Can you tell me a different episode of television, episode 8 of this show, might have reminded me of?
A different episode of this show?
No.
Okay. But television in general.
Something I know you have watched. Something I know you have watched. The lingering sense of something is building, something awful is about to happen, something awful is happening, and you have no choice but to just jaw open, watch.
Well, I guess I don't know if this is the answer, but I got these vibes. I told you last week that I was getting Westworld vibes from Cyril for some reason, but I got some Westworld, I don't know, kind of either season 4 or season 3 vibes a little bit, but I don't think that's the answer you're looking for there.
It isn't. I'm going the bells.
Game of Thrones. Yes, okay. This is much better. I was thinking also like French Revolution.
I'm going to spoil, I'm going to go spoilers for Game of Thrones real quick, so if you want to skip ahead 30 seconds, go ahead. The lingering sense of the thing is that they encapsulate that vibe the entire episode. That was like 20 seconds in Game of Thrones. Whenever she's sitting on top of the dragon, like, like that's what the whole episode feels like until it happens. You know what I'm saying? And then in a weird way, Cyril Karn is actually Jon Snow.
Man, yeah. Wow.
Whenever he's standing there watching this thing that he helped happen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's wow. What a oh man. I love his little arc. How it I don't know. He just I guess that I don't know. Don't want to jump into it too much for spoilers, but but
I mean they were all it was as far as character work was concerned, I don't think we've had like Mon the biggest like one of the biggest leaps we've had. Bix one of the biggest leaps we've had. Cassian certainly the biggest leaps we've had.
Even Luthen
the biggest leaps we've had. Clea I would say the biggest leaps we've had.
Clea. Clea's cooking. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I gotta cook on Clea later.
Yeah, Clea's fucking awesome. I mean Bale, obviously. We haven't seen him in the show really, and this was
a good recast.
And this was one of those times where it was kind of bittersweet because like I said, I love Benjamin Bratt. I really enjoy Benjamin Bratt a lot. But for Jimmy Smits to miss out on probably the best Bail Organa there's ever been, kind of sucks.
That does kind of blow. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, we got a great Bail.
Just for him as an actor. Yeah. Like I love Benjamin Bratt and he does a great job. But like, I can't imagine being Jimmy Smits watching this and going, "God damn, this is the only time I've never played Bail Organa."
Yeah. Critical time. Yeah. Literally like this. Dang. But. Man, yeah, I was wondering if they were gonna bring him back in a like large capacity because it was a recast for like next episode. I guess we still could have more of him as well, which is crazy.
Oh yeah. I think we almost certainly. He says next year.
That's true. I mean, we do know they meet. Yeah, they meet on. I mean, let's see, on Yavin, is he in that room?
He is in that room.
Wow.
Yes,
they're all there. Yeah. So I mean, I guess
that movie ends with him going, "I got to go back to Alderaan."
Oh,
and then he dies.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Well, shit. So I was like, that's why I was wondering. I'm like, wait, like, because I'm like, he gotta go eventually. I'm like, does he? Is he still there with Mon? But that's good. At least he's there on Yavin with her.
He does get there. So. But that's why I loved these 3 episodes. I thought they were beautifully written. I thought they were beautifully shot. I thought they were harrowing. I do think it's my new favorite arc in Andor. You know, I didn't think they would do it. I didn't think I'd be able to be like, oh yeah, I definitely like that more than Narkina 5 specifically, which is probably the best.
Yeah,
from
that's number
season
2.
1. Yeah. It's no, this is a cut above. This is a different breed. I love the pull throughs. There's a few pull throughs from last week, and that's what I really really enjoy about the arcs this season. Is that it's still a season of television. They are not completely separate entities from arc to arc. Like, there are major pull-throughs as far as characters, what they would look like a year later. You know, the bellhop in the lobby is now a concierge at the hotel, and he's in it. He's in it now. You know, like I love that shit. The guy who it's on like skin. He'll be making up for this for the rest of his useless life. The way that he is actively trying to do that, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and a lot less Luthen than I thought we were going to be getting. But you were on the right track last week with them kind of abandoning Luthen.
His ideals, they worked in the early goings. You know, whenever no one else was kind of. Not brave enough, but just kind of, you know, someone had to make those decisions, the hard kind of calls to get it going. But
and what I didn't realize is that the organization, I think, was actively happening, and Luthen was still just isolating in his own realm, kind of similar to Saw.
I wonder if he knew, like, this is his ultimate goal, is just to get Mon in public to say, no, like this is like the rebellion is here. And then Luthen, he does, that's it. He's technically won, I feel like in his mind a little bit now, is that, he's more, I thought of him more as an acceleration. I don't know, I feel like was planning on torching Gorman, possibly, like that was in the bag if things didn't go well. Like he would have been fully okay with it. And so I feel like I don't know. He knew that once the rebellion started, I feel like there's no way he's going to be on the council. There's no, I don't know, or like, the people calling the shots. So I don't know. Maybe this is his kind of true end game here is just getting the rebellion going. And once now it's out of the closet sort of a thing, it's, the world knows. And so I wonder, there's still some questions I have with Luthen. I really, really hope what's happening with Cassian and Bix is fully on their own accord and they're finding these things themselves. I really, really hope Luthen doesn't have any play in this. And, like there are some strings being pulled with, some acting or stuff. I hope it's all genuine. Like I really, really do. I kind of would be disappointed if it goes the Luthen route.
I don't think they're going to pull the rug out from under us that way.
I hope not.
But, last spoiler-free thoughts, because we've been towing the line anyway.
True.
They're really, really great episodes. You got to check them out. And for no particular reason, upon completion of these 3 episodes, you should watch Season 3, Episode 18 of Star Wars Rebels.
Yes, you should.
Very, very good little sequel piece to this arc, which is wild. Like, it was a nice little way after a really harrowing, hard evening of television to just kind of be like, and here's something perfect to go with it that's cartoony and fun. It was good. It was good.
They kept getting better and better. I don't know how they did. Yeah. Like I thought they couldn't do it. They did it in season 1. The arcs just kept getting better and better. And
they did. And I mean, this is my favorite episode of Andor, episode 9.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Welcome to the Rebellion is one of the best pieces of television I've ever watched, period. Definitely my favorite Andor episode, and because it's my favorite Andor episode, it's my favorite episode of Star Wars TV.
did it feel like the finale to you a bit? You know,
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm actually good on the show.
I am too.
I don't know.
I don't need to. We don't need to lead into the to Rogue One. That's what's crazy is that felt like we are roughly where we are at the beginning of Rogue One. Obviously, we're not exactly where we are at the beginning of Rogue One, but it's like Cassian is now fully committed to the rebellion because he has no alternative. Mon Mothma is coming to join them. Bail says he'll be there within the year. Yeah. You know, like we're heading that way. Yeah. You know, like the only things that do feel like they need to be tied up are Luthen. I expect him pretty heavily involved next week. Luthen and Clea, that is. Clea. Yeah, beyond that, I don't know what else really needs to be wrapped up. Which is why I do feel pretty like Deidre's got to have some resolution. Yep.
Maybe we finally get some oh my god, Galen or so, maybe finally.
That would be cool
in the mix. But
that'd be perfect too, because that's exactly where Rogue One starts, is with Bodhi Rook fleeing Edu.
I wonder if Cassian will also just be on his own, kind of searching, you know, for I don't know. Don't want to say too much. I don't know. Towing the line still.
We're past the spoilers. We're past the spoilers. We're
going to be searching for Bix, you know, instead of.
I don't think he is. I think because my main thing for not believing that is that we are going to be a year later. We're going to be a year later. This leads directly into Rogue One. I think that after a certain amount of time, and maybe it's like a background thing, like he wants to find Bix, but he can't. He honors her wishes. You know, like she chooses the rebellion. It is a choice, and it's better for the cause if he is there.
Man,
buddy. When she said, "When it's all over, I'll find you, and we can do everything we ever wanted." I woke Emily up.
Yeah.
I woke Emily up. She was asleep next to me, and I.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not.
Like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No." Yep. It was, dude, and just. I cannot wait to rewatch Rogue One with the idea at the end there.
She's out there.
She's out there because now Bix is alive.
Yeah,
Bix is 100% alive. Yeah. There is no way she dies, and if she does, I'm gonna fucking
on
riot.
Her dying too. Yeah. We were like, she literally foreshadowed her own death, and now it's like, no, she must live. This line here, actually, I hope sets her like.
Well, they did living. A great job. Like what I said with the bury your gaze trope last week, how it's so easily predictable. They did exactly what you thought they would. That's not something they usually do. The way that they subverted the expectation of that line, of being like, we can't control what we lose.
Yeah.
You know, Cassian can't control what he loses, and he loses Bix because of the cause, not because she dies. And I think that's not beneath the show. That is the kind of shit the show is usually good at. So, like, that's a perfect example of where they can succeed versus where they, probably the only place I think they have failed.
Yeah,
which is kind of wild.
Whenever I said I really hope Luthen isn't touching any of this stuff over here, I think maybe there's a world where, like, Clea is touching this a bit. Like, this is the first time that I ever got force sensitivity from Clea, ever. I can't believe I never thought of this. But, like, at the very end, like, whenever she's like, yeah, Luthen knows that he's here, or something like that. Like, it felt like she contacted him, like, told him through the Force. Like, I wonder if they have a Force connection and they can talk. I don't know. She can send him messages, something of the sort. Maybe that's where the crystal comes from. It's Clea's. So, I don't know, something like this. But it felt there was something from Clea there, and I wonder if Clea knows this Force healer, you know, or something like that. It's not an act. They're not actually saying like, oh no, do this up for Cassian. We really need him to believe that he's the messenger, blah, blah, blah. I think it's like, we actually need to wake this dude up. Like, we knew, like, that's why Luthen was so hard, you know, trying to get Cassian on his side, is I don't know, like, even Bix said it, there's just this feeling that people have, like, whenever, like, he's around, I don't know, and they can't explain it. And I wonder if if Clea is force sensitive in any way, or at all, maybe she has the same sense, or like tell, Luthen, we need this guy. This isn't just a guy you need to recruit. Like, no, this is the guy, sort of thing.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was anything so specific as that. I think it's generally the Force trying to return itself to balance.
Mm-hmm.
So, like they've always said, the Force surrounds all of us. It's in all of us. It binds all of us. I think that when the Force needs something going the right direction, I don't think it matters if you're strictly quote unquote Force sensitive.
True.
That's
true.
So I do think that like the idea of Cassian as a messenger, that when the Force healer says there's somewhere he needs to be, he's a messenger. I'm already getting fucked up. And whenever she tells Bix, maybe you're the place he's supposed to be.
Dang.
That was great because I'm like, actually, I know for a fact it's not. And that's when that kind of story arc kind of crystallizes a little bit, and it's so good. But the idea of Cassian as the messenger is fucking magnificent. Because at every turn in every season, every bit of story with him, he's there for something big, and obviously has to be, he's the main character, but the idea that the Aldhani heist, it wasn't just a heist, it was an announcement. They're here and they're ready to fight. Like that's Cassian was there for that. He was a part of that announcement, with a one way out. He got Kino Loy going that way. It was time, and he gives him, it has to be from you. Yes, I'm the one who got you here, but it has to be from you.
Ferrix, he got Marva.
Ferrix,
it
was Marva, but like that wasn't him. That was Marva,
true.
But that was.
I guess
good.
he got the riot started there though. Without him, kind of stirring shit up.
Yeah, 100%.
The Empire would have never come to Ferrix. So yeah,
there's no doubt there. So like, and then to parallel all that with people in the One Way Out arc, him in the One Way Out arc yelling, "Nobody's listening, nobody's listening, nobody's listening," to get here. Tell people what happened here on Gorman. You're the messenger. For him to be the one that helps beam the Death Star plans up, and then ask Jyn, "Do you think anybody's listening?" Oh, dude. Yeah, that's perfect. That's why I'm like, there is 100% a confluence of, whenever he's like, I'm just lucky. And my luck's running out.
Yes, you are. No, you are lucky.
You got
the Force on your side, homie.
Yeah, but it's different, and that's why I'm like, and that's why I love that Bix can feel the absolute assurance that she's right in believing this.
Yeah.
Which is why, yes, I do believe that Luthen had a slight. Actually, I don't think Luthen had a hand in it, but Vel coming to her and asking, will he be there when we need him? Is a little bit of any chance you can fuck off.
That's true. It's like, we know if you're here, he is going to stay. Like, it's like, yeah.
And I don't think that's 100% what Vel meant, because Vel, when she was with Cinta, they're worth more together than they are separate. I don't think that she believes that Cassian's value is hurt because Bix is there. It's just that Cassian won't want to keep fighting, and they need Cassian to keep fighting. And they all have this assurance that Cassian is really important in the fight. Like that's I really, really enjoy the idea that the Force, he's just kind of a confluence in the Force. Like he's a pivot point a little bit. Things happen around him, and that's really, really cool. And that's why I also think Jyn's a similar person. I think that Jyn kind of coming into his life, there's a little bit of a two sides of the same coin thing going on.
Yeah, little dyads everywhere. It's like whatever.
Yeah, little dyads everywhere. Not exactly on the same scale as Rey and Kylo or anything, but like Kanan and Hera. And it's not always romantic. Luke and Leia. You know what I'm saying? Like these people matter, and that them being in the same place at the same time matters. And I think that that's I think that that's 100% what we're building to with Cassian and Jyn.
It's crazy that like you can tell this like very clearly political story and very clear, like they are trying to send a message to the real world. But at the same time, it's like the most beautiful I think the Force has ever been portrayed to me is like, Cassian's fate. Like we are kind of the omnipotent, like all-knowing viewer, so like we understand his end. We know every single thing. It's just we're kind of like Uatu now, I guess. We're watching in, and this is the one guy we do want to look in at, and it's not because I don't know, we just know he dies. It's because that I don't know, you want to see who he affected. You want to see how he got there. You want to see like all of the other people that were inspired by him, or you like even this bellhop, this small character that means nothing in the show. It's like I'm thinking like, oh my god, like I don't know, rebellions are built on hope. He tells Jen this later, and it's like, and then this guy has his own little fight. He I don't know, bombs the door. I don't know if people ran in there for safety or what, whatever he did. It's like his rebellion just started because I don't know. I feel like that interaction with Cassian before it was meant to happen. Him as the designer coming in, so they had that one meeting. So they
and whenever he sees him again as Ronnie Guja,
the journalist, and
whenever he sees him as Ronnie, and again the messenger, just a perfect idea for him to be the journalist. But whenever he sees him as Ronnie Guja, and he's like, "Oh shit, bet." He's like, I realize all that. Here's the
perfect
Sky.
room.
Okay, homie. Yeah. I'm gonna give you the exact same room. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So you know exactly what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, I loved all of that, and that's why I just really think that what's really fascinating is that 8 is one of the best episodes of this show, period, because of its harrowing nature, because of how jaw-dropping and, I mean, lovely to look at. It is a gorgeously shot episode. It's a gorgeously written episode. I actually, some of my favorite moments are whenever we're slow-mo on Cyril in the middle.
Ooh, oh my god.
That shit's awesome.
It's so good. It was so French Dispatchy. It was so Joan of Arc. It was just French Revolution. I don't know. It's like, I don't even know too much about the French Revolution, really, only through movies and media, sadly. And it's like I'm just getting these like the buildings. I feel like they built the city to reflect it quite heavily.
Singing the song of angry men.
Yeah,
it's that whole sequence is beautiful and devastating. I'm tearing up. Like the thing is that foreboding, that knowing what's coming.
Yep.
There's them purposefully using that instead of it being something that knocks us off our socks, I think is also significant. It's writing on the wall. It's something is coming because the Empire is evil, and the longer we do this, the more they are going to, the less they are going to care about what happens to them. And
I mean, it's crazy that for one, like, this is a made-up language. This isn't even real. They made this language up, and it sounds so European. It sounds like Russian. It feels
French.
Like, it's like French, Russian. It's a blend. I feel like of a bunch of different cultures, and I think it's just perfect. It's not any one. It's like I think mostly French. It's in the building, the architecture. I feel like looks pretty French, but in their designers, their silk is thread. But this like. I don't know, they're all speaking a completely manufactured language, but giving it's all the emotion. Like, I don't care. It's just the tone of their voice, and it's just perfect, which crazy on these actors to come in here and just speak gibberish, for a little bit.
They actually hired everybody who is Gore is a French actor.
Oh, that's kind of sick. That's awesome. Okay.
Which is very, very cool. But they did, and they nailed it, dude. Oh man, it's fucking hard to watch whenever things start popping off, and it's because an Imperial sniper snipes one of their own guys.
Yep.
These people who are green, they knew they were green. They were sacrificial lambs. You're ready to kill them, so go ahead and make them make the mistake. They don't even know they're making a mistake. They're not in on it. They are just Imperial. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of them gets shot, and they're like, well, open fire on this peaceful protesting crowd.
That's why, like, I've always been of the, I've been on Luthen's side. Saw might be a little too extremist for me a little bit. It's like I would like to avoid the fight at all costs. I don't like conflict, but it's like I've realized that in history has just shown you gotta have some little violence to get some shit done. Like no revolution has been fully peaceful. But
that's the thing, is that they weren't being violent.
Yeah. But
when the fighting starts,
it's like, what, I don't know, what else can that get? There's no other conclusion, I feel like, of that. Even the Gormans knew, is like, this is our last stand. They're like, I don't know, they knew that it eventually would get there, sort of thing. And it's not, again, it's not their fault. It's like the environment they're in. It's all the Empire pressuring them and making their lives shitty even in the first place. But it's like, this is the first time that I kind of started to be like at least on the Luthen scale of like him being like, no, like this sacrifice must happen, to show the rest of the galaxy and get them on our side
very brightly.
And it's like, you're becoming the bad. You're becoming the Empire by thinking that way a little bit. I think, it's the right line of like, yes, it logically, I guess, makes sense, but you can't. I feel like that's too great a loss. To just be so.
Yeah, to be so aloof about and concrete but whenever things start popping off, the shot that really, really gets me is the view from Cassian's perspective when they shoot the guy who's waving the flag and he falls down. Ooh, that's rough, because that's just a guy who was an easy target.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
just in, like, I don't know, like the least danger to everyone else. Like, he's so high, like, what could that guy have done to any of the cops? It's like Jeff Hardy from the top turnbuckle. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, bro's about to hit the Swanton bomb, but it's and then just everything from there, the close-ups of people point blank getting shot right there.
Yeah,
the people screaming, running, the smoke rising, that shot early on of the city peaceful. There's nothing going on. They're spreading the Imperial propaganda. They bombed this place last night. Nothing was bombed. Like they're still counting Imperial casualties. Nobody's a casualty.
Our fallen heroes. It's just all, it's like, and then the people at home, Cyril's mom watching, and just like all the senators taking it in, whatever. It's like, it's
my favorite detail. My favorite detail, the best detail, and the one that just hits a little too close to home. Is when Mon rightfully dubs what's happening on Gorman as a genocide.
Oh, whoa.
And then the entire room groans.
Yeah.
Oh, no, genocide.
Here we go.
That's so extreme. Yeah.
Well.
Thank you, Gilroy. What the fuck, man? I mean, holy shit. That's obviously there's a lot of notes of what's happening in Palestine. Coming through there, and I think that
it's just so evil you don't want to believe it. I think it's like you don't want to accept the fact that it's happening while you're alive. I don't know. I can't fathom any other reason to kind of just shut it away and be like, oh no, it's not happening. Like there's no way. It's just to accept. I don't know all the stuff, but yeah, the truth. It's how can you tell anymore? It's like, I love that was like her main like focus on the speech, is that like not to focus on the massacre right away, but just to be like, we don't know like who's telling us the truth anymore. How do you know? Like,
I'll read that word for word here, because it is too good of a monologue.
Mothma, yeah, like
where is it? I liked it last night. Let's go. There we are. Okay. The difference between what is said and what is known to be true has become an abyss. Of all the things at risk, the loss of an objective reality is perhaps the most dangerous. The death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil. He who screams the loudest, and he who screams the loudest is Emperor Palpatine. Like, I was so fucking elated to hear something like that.
You grapple
and
to
it's
whoever had the biggest appetite or something, like whoever has who wants it, just who wants it the most. Oh my God, and Bale saying like kick the shit out of these people. Or I don't know, whatever he said to
tear
hype
the
her up
shit
before.
out of this place.
Dude,
yeah,
it was
I love it. And then him smiling, that other senior senator smiling and stuff. Yep. It's awesome. I love that. Woo. And I thought it was kind of cool that there were, as far as Disney Plus series, which is kind of wild. I got to assume they have less faith in us or less stock in our intelligence than they think we have. But Andor this week and Doctor Who last week. Doctor Who's back on. There was an episode last Saturday that was about misinformation and weaponizing it and lying and knowing you're lying but lying anyway for your own gain and to stir up shit for these episodes to come within the same week. Really, really hammered home a specific idea, and it's just it sucks that it's so fucking real,
Yeah. I mean it's just. I feel like I don't want to believe that the world, I kind of don't want to believe that we've gotten there in the world a little bit, but it's like media just always, I don't know, this is kind of the point of media, I feel like. This is, and why I've grown to love movies and everything so much more is that it just captures the time so perfectly. Like this is, we said like how beautiful it would be if Clea had like an archive of all the stories of the rebellion sort of thing, and that's kind of what, I don't know, these shows are in a way. It does show a Gorman massacre or in a galaxy far away, but obviously we know, living in the world right now, that it like reflects Palestine and everywhere else that stuff's going on. And I don't know, in 30 years people won't make that connection. Maybe they know that's what it was inspired from, but they might connect it to something in their time. And I don't know. Hopefully it's all gone, in 30 years. I'd like to believe we're not still doing this bullshit, but yeah, it's just I don't know. I gotta wake up myself a little bit. Welcome here. I feel like they are broadcasting this not just on Disney Plus. This is kind of a like, hey, let's I don't know. We're kind of getting a little lost here. Yeah, let's get So
the attempted arrest of a senator because she outright disagrees with the she outright disagrees with the administration that's sitting. Like, I don't know, that'd be kind of like it'd be kind of like arresting a judge for making a ruling that opposed an executive order,
No. That doesn't happen.
Be kind of like that.
And it's like, and then knowing like that's going on in the background, and then that we just have some senators that were like, I feel like I heard of just one that was literally not even in the Senate for months. They were like in like a hospice or in the hospital for just 6 months, and votes were being made on her behalf or something like that. It's like I would I saw Mon Mothma get up on stage. It would be incredible if all of our senators had the passion and just the fight that Mon had. That's what I would love to think our government is like. But it's like. No, I don't know.
It's like, say what you will about, what I loved about watching the episode of Rebels after this is that there's a part in it where she goes, words will only take you so far. Like I said all that, but words can only do so much. Look a few weeks back to when Cory Booker did that 25-hour speech, and he talked for literally 25 hours.
Damn.
About the administration and the failures of Trump and all, what it means for our country if he is the ruler essentially. And that's incredibly encouraging. Obviously, it's not enough, but it's something. It's good. It's something that we do need done, because I've never been a fan of Cory Booker, but all of a sudden I like Cory Booker. I appreciate that he was willing to do something like that. Yes, it's symbolic. No, it didn't actually get a ton done, but it got people talking about things. It was a 25-hour speech. It made massive headlines. It broke the record for the longest, what's that word? What's the word whenever you ramble on and on during government filibuster? Yes, it was the longest filibuster in the history of the Senate.
Damn, 20. That's crazy. That's like actually just impressive to talk. That's just an
he fasted. Thing. He fasted and dehydrated himself for a day and a half prior, so that for like 2 days prior, so that he didn't have to use the bathroom. Like you're not allowed to use the bathroom.
Oh shit, dude, bro was ready. Okay, he thought about it.
That's it. Like he planned on. Like that's. These are the kinds of things that one isolated time of somebody doing it, cool. But we kind of need them to compound, and Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez going on their fight oligarchy tour across America and stuff like that's the good stuff. That's more what we need from our leaders, because it's hard to feel like you can. It's hard to feel like you can do anything when you aren't directly doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's easy to feel daunted by this, like Nemec said, it's easy to feel daunted by the scale of the enemy, but our lines move forward every day. Like it's.
Did you see what the White House tweeted on May 4th? The Star Wars tweet. Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Why do they give him a red lightsaber every time?
You have to be?
Every time they give him a red lightsaber, it's like what? I don't know. I mean, incredible. It's like they are literally. I don't know. It's like they accept, they know, and it's in front of our face. It's like they are mocking, and I think that someone even said that. Like it's like they know this. They're laughing at us right now, or like they want us to do this. They want us to fight, and it's just.
I mean, that's the thing too, is that like every time they post a picture of that guy, it's AI generated now.
Yeah,
they're like, we don't want you to see what this guy actually fucking looks like.
Yeah.
He's got like giant fucking muscles, or he's a ton thinner. We know what the fucking guy looks like. We've seen Donald Trump. He doesn't look like that. What are we doing here? What, man? And it really gives those vibes of when Palpatine shows up in that hologram in Rebels as like his normal old self when he was the Chancellor, and then flickers into Palpatine mode and back and forth.
It's even the caption. They're calling America the Empire. They literally, you're not the rebellion, you're the Empire, or I don't know, maybe
They're talking about the left.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, the left lunatics who are fighting so hard to bring Sith lords, murderers, drug lords, dangerous prisoners, and well-known gang members back to our galaxy.
That's obviously the entire platform for the left.
So let's give him the red lightsaber and make him the Emperor. I don't know. And it's just incredible. Like, yeah, it's crazy that it's hard. Like, I would like Star Wars to be completely on its own, and me just, I used to use Star Wars as an escape, and be like, oh, I like to go to this galaxy far away.
Yeah, and you still can. Yeah. You still can in some capacities. That's why, like, when it comes to Andor, I legit had not watched season 1 all the way through until it was time to watch season 2.
Yeah.
Until I was because I got to the end and I was like, holy shit, I don't think I've watched this all the way through since, because there's something so singular about it that I don't really want to watch it over and over. Like I want to revisit it. I will revisit it, but I'm not gonna do that every couple months just because I'm like, I got to watch some good Star Wars. No, like that's hard to watch. Because like it is so reflective of the real world.
Like a Monkey Man, but way more of that. Like it's like like that feeling, but like it's not that I want to ruin it, that I think it's going to get worse if I watch it more. It's just, it has this different air to it, It's I can throw on Revenge of the Sith or Phantom Menace any day and just watch some laser sword fights and have some fun. But this, no, it gets me to think of the real world. It gets me to think of, I don't know, all these things.
I sure as shit won't be watching season 2 anytime soon after it's done, man. I can promise you that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I will say I do like. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it might be a better season than season 1. Like if they continue the pattern of what they've been doing this season, like I don't know, maybe not better, but just equivalent, which is insane that they are like doing what they did in season 1. But I think this has just way more of an impact than season 1 did. Like it's just hitting on such a different note, and I like the real world aspects of it. Like I love that they're going there, and that it's not, more ambiguous.
It's the perfect place to do it. You know, like there's a part where Erskine, by the way, underrated MVP of these episodes. Loved Erskine Samaj, the senatorial attaché, as he puts it, to Mon Mothma, secretly working for Luthen ever since the wedding. Fucking cool. Loved that. But whenever, you know, she's like, he's scanning for listening devices, and he's like, go to the plaza, you know, like go somewhere else. And she like sneaks out immediately, runs away. Like just the tension there. Like the fact that I can still feel tension, like she's in trouble when I know she lives.
Yeah.
Like
True. Huh. Wow. That's
whenever she's escaping the Senate after her speech, and it's her and Cassian.
Yeah.
These are people that are in the movie that takes place after this, and I'm still like, how the fuck do they get out of this? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the good stuff.
Wow, I didn't even
dude,
think
and
of
that whole
yeah.
sequence, the whole sequence of them leaving the Senate. Oh my god, I love it. I love it so. Whenever she holds him up,
like her having
good, so good, and Cassian just doming her immediately. You killed that woman. Yeah,
poor Cloris.
All right, let's go.
Damn, bro was actually on his redemption arc. It felt like, or like he was like, nah, I got to go check on. I don't know what was going through his mind. Like, what was the driver? I felt like I don't know. Cassian just popped him, you know, right there at the end. But it felt like he was I don't know how to read that, you know, him going back and being like, no, I wish I knew, or like, I think it was him kind of being like,
I think they're playing with the kind of similar to Erskine, which is that they are working for someone else, but their loyalties lie in a different place now. You know, like Erskine is working for Luthen because he thinks that's the right thing to do, but it's not because he doesn't like Mon Mothma. And I think that's the same thing for Cloris. I don't think Cloris like hates Mon. I just think that he has another job and he's doing that job. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I think that makes Cloris a piece of shit. You know, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't think he views what he's doing as bad. I don't think that he thinks helping the ISB is a negative thing because their propaganda is so strong, you know, like
Man,
there are a lot of people working for the Empire who think they're doing the right thing, you know.
Mon was definitely welcomed in, you know, ushered into the rebellion quite quickly by Cassian here. Like even the first death, you know, of the girl that was going to kill, like, I don't know, like probably very real life threat to her. Mon didn't care. She's like, oh, I don't give a fuck. But then whenever she's just, you killed that woman, you know, like, just so, I don't know, she couldn't believe it, you know, and she's
entering a new life, you know, like, this is something, like, he killed that woman to protect Mon, you know, like, and that woman is dead, in effect, because of Mon Mothma, you know, like, it's not, and I think there's just kind of a realization that your life is this now.
Yeah.
You know, like, you killed that woman. And even by the time they arrive at the safe house, she understands. You know? She's like, I don't know how I'll ever be able to thank you. You know, like that.
Just make it worth it, bro.
Just make it worth it.
He could. I mean, come on. Like her just being like, oh, you know this place. Like she finally got you know, or like slowed down for a second, or like, I don't know, and just him.
It's good. It's good, and I think that was literally an on-screen, us watching it happen, what Bix was talking about.
Yeah.
When people are around him and just kind of realize it's important, you know, like, I don't know how I'll ever thank you, you know, like, you've been here before. It's just kind of like this, you want to trust him. And I think that's something that's why I think it's cool that Jin reignites his fire a little bit, reminds him what to fight for. And that's how I've always viewed Rogue One. I wonder if I'll view it differently. Whenever we come back around. Like, I've always just watched Rogue One as Cassian's become kind of a, you know, he's just become an assassin, essentially. Like, he's there's no questions asked. He's going to kill who he has to kill. That's it. And this is depicting that in a positive light, I think. Which is why I think it'll be interesting to see what my view of his role in Rogue One is on the other side of this.
Yeah. It's, I feel that he he's just made his mind, like, he is willing to make the decision that other people just would take a lot longer to think about, I feel like. Because even Cloris, like the driver, like, Mon's like telling him, oh, no, he's actually, giving details to the ISP. I forget what she said, but she was, I feel like, wanting to say more, being like, oh, wait, like, or I don't know. I feel like she was going to say more.
She says he's an ISB plant, and then he's like, Cloris, and she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and Cassian didn't even think about it, but Mon was like, well, I don't know if he's bad enough to kill, or like, I feel like she was going through all of that, but Cassian's like, he hears ISB plant.
Right, yeah, boom. Well, and that's all that matters, like, Mon is still holding on, like, I don't know that he's bad enough to kill. No, what you have to realize is when we're doing this, they're all bad enough to kill.
Yeah.
Like, that's,
it's a different game.
That's kind of how you have to plan, or that's kind of how you have to do things when you are there, when you are doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that Cassian, fortunately for the rebellion, very much so understands. And that's why I think Jyn is a perfect foil to Cassian's, like, there's a similar thing that they do. Whenever people are around, they understand. When Jyn enters the picture, all of a sudden Cassian understands. There's a different understanding. As it's just another step further. Whenever he can't kill Galen on that platform, it's because Jyn, it's made him feel like it's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, the truth or genuine. Like, I think that's like, you can just tell it's real. You're like, you have this feeling, and even, like I said earlier, that I even had the feeling that when Krennic popped on screen, it looked like AI. And it's weird that something that is actually real now, I can think, wait, is this computer generated? I'm actually doing the reverse, which is kind of weird. Like, we're entering like this, I don't know, it feels like this isn't Photoshop anymore. This is kind of just a different league. But there is this, I don't know, we have this this hardwire in your bones kind of feeling, I think, when you just know something feels right. And at least they're playing with that. I love that it's like, I don't know, that is a story element here, is like that I don't know, people around Cassian, if it's like part of the mission, it goes really well for you, but if not, it's like, you're surreal, who are you? Boom, blaster to the head. It's like, God, I don't, like, oh,
beautiful.
Man.
Beautiful.
Yeah, his end was nice. I don't know. I thought
Surreal was for 2 episodes here, the most interesting character in the show.
Like, wow, who would have Narc from season 1, dude?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I love, is that they managed to depict him just as pathetically as he's always been. It's the fact that he's so dead set on his mission. I was sent for outside agitators.
Yep.
I was sent for outside agitators. The Gorman people are not bad people. They're good. He clearly has a history with the daughter of the man, of the mayor too. Kind of, I don't know. Felt like there was more implied than just she found out he's an ISB plant, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I had a hard time reading that as well. Like, he was trying to enter that life, or like, I feel like she just knew that he was playing them or something. But like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know how to read that either, because
there was a real
because it felt like they first met at that rally that he went to for the first time.
Yeah, they did, but that was a year ago.
Oh, okay. I like that. Maybe he got a little more human when he was on Gorman a little bit.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, but beyond that, I don't understand. Like, whenever he pulls her aside in the street, and she's like, "No, no, we can't do this. I don't trust you." I don't know. There was a weird vibe there. A history that felt more than just, you betrayed our cause. Like, you betrayed me. You betrayed my trust. And I think that, I don't know, there was a weird air of like, did something happen here between you two?
That slap was a little more personal.
Yeah. That's why I like, so like, that's immediately interesting. Like, there's a little bit more, like, the fact that they have discovered he's an ISB plant, clearly, and whether they discovered that or if he told them.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I want to find out. Like, I think stuff like that's really, really interesting, because That's the kind of stuff that it humanized him a little bit, and I think that's a.
I guess I want to be careful when saying this, but domestic abuse never okay in any situation. It's always bad. But if it has to happen to one person, I think Deidre, this episode, I don't know.
He's like, hold on, when the stakes are you are dating somebody who has an active hand in genocide. Maybe it's like there's a little something else. Maybe maybe we can bend the rules a little bit whenever someone has a hand in genocide.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was the first time where I'm like, well. I was like, well, no, and I'm like, no, can't.
And the amount of guilt Deidre feels at the end, like that's a whenever she can't get her collar off and she's having a panic attack and she can't breathe, like that's the good shit. You deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that you feel this way because this is on you now.
So evil. It felt
this
like
is like
zone
Skin.
Of interest, the evil kind of coming out, or just like it was. And even when she's like proceed, she knew from that that
she's
one
like
order.
I give the go ahead to slaughter these people. Like this is on me. It's like Skin.
You didn't seem to mind the promotions, or whatever. Like that's I love she was an Empire baby. She's known nothing but the Empire. Cyril kind of has, way more heavily Empire life, but still has a somewhat real world connection a little bit, and he's the one that can, Deidre still is like, no, this has to happen, but after this we can be together, and everything's perfect, and or like she's just lost, she's gone. But Cyril just kind of, I don't know, being with the people for a little bit. I like that his story kind of did go there, and that it wasn't a sacrifice. He didn't sacrifice himself for Cassian. It was actually the opposite. It was on site, bro.
I love that he doubled down. I love that he doubled down because that's his mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cassian is an outside agitator. He knows he's an outside agitator.
Yep.
This is finally something he can do something about.
Bro,
and
that fight was actually
it was great. Great fight.
Like, wow.
I loved it. I loved it. And that's the thing is that it's been clear that Cyril is clearly able-bodied. He was a corporate corporate police officer. He was he's an ISB plant. He's got to be trained in some capacity, So
the
like
adrenaline pumping through him right now in this moment as well. Bro was Bane. I don't know. Bro was actually
he was on one and
fully charged.
They threw the fuck down, man. And I think that I loved that. Like there's also that everything that led him here.
Mm-hmm.
It is because of Cassian. Cassian is he's here now because of Cassian. In a roundabout way. He met Deidre because of Cassian. He believed in Deidre because of Cassian. Now he sees Cassian at the heart of the fire where everything, all of that is crumbling around him. And he goes, well, I guess I can kill Cassian at least, And then when he looks at him and he goes, who are you?
Is Deidre going to find out somehow that Cassian, I don't know. It wasn't Cassian who shot him, but they were fighting. Did she see... I don't know. I wonder if she just goes extra hard after Cassian now. If that's how she continues.
I doubt it.
I wonder how. I don't know. I don't feel like she'll flip.
No, I think she is the opposite of Cyril. Where Cyril was probably ready to kind of turn his back on things.
She's
turn his back on her. She's going to double down because she's in too deep. She's done too much that it has to be worth it, kind of on the same side as Cassian,
oh my God.
She's got to make it worth it.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. It's goddamn I don't know. The show's, it's crazy. Like these are the storylines that we're getting in Star Wars of all things. I don't know. I thought this just seems like
brother, appreciate it now because I promise you we are never getting this shit again. This is it, brother. I'm happy to go back to Skeleton Crew. I'm happy to go back to the Acolyte.
True.
I have fun with those, but there will never be another Star Wars thing this good.
We know Andor. We can't have a season 3. Bro's dead. That's okay.
Yeah.
But Bix, big season 3, just a different character, or like does someone else just take the mantle and they just still focus on this realm a little bit, like the more kind of just closer to the ground fight of the rebellion, and I wonder who it can continue.
I just don't know how much more room. I just don't know how much room we have to expound upon this.
I guess this fight, true. Yeah, I wonder if it'd be like.
I mean, because and then the other thing is that if we do it with another character, it's just the same stuff with the different character, and like that's why I think I'm appreciative of the fact we are getting it. I don't think we'll ever get anything in this era with the same tone again.
Yeah.
I do, Tony Gilroy is done after this. He's not, I don't think he's doing another Star Wars thing. He says he's open to returning, but he doesn't have anything on the horizon.
Please come back.
Dude,
come
fucking
back.
A, please.
Yeah.
Do your thing for a little bit. Make a couple movies, come back after that, though.
Yeah, this...
Because, that's what he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, I feel like
after
he has the open check. Yeah, now.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a, write whatever you want, and we'll get it happening.
But it's working out so well, and
it's gorgeous.
I don't know if the Jedi. I kind of went hard on the Clea Jedi Force sensitive sort of thing, but her hair being down, she's looking the most freaking. Is it not Aldani? The most. What's their home planet?
Kenari?
Kenari, yes. She's looking the most that. I feel like or at least her hair being down. This is her more of her true self, I feel like. Because
speaking of Kenari, visual language, whenever he runs out of the hut and he's in that circle door, paralleling him boarding the ship on Kenari.
Oh, no. Okay. This is... I don't know. There's too many things lining up. There has to be something with Clea. I don't know. There's no way she is just this kind of, she listens to the frequencies and she's just,
well, and I do think that there is something more, like, I think this week it actually pushed me more down the path that she could be Cassian's sister than it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not like, oh, that has to happen or I'm going to be pissed. I'm not there. I'm never there. It's just, I think it's a possibility because of her disappointment in him. Whenever he's like, after this, I'm done.
Ah, yes.
And she's like, oh, poor you.
Yeah.
Oh, poor little baby. I loved that whole thing. I loved that whole thing because the way she chided him, the way they talked to each other, there was a real familiarity. It was just, I would love it if she is keeping that information from him and then ultimately is going to reveal it. And it's like, I would love that.
She did say, like, you look exhausted, or like that line right there. I feel like that was it.
The empathy that she exhibits in that moment was so strong.
Yes.
Like whenever because earlier in the episode, he was like, I'm tired. And she actually kind of mocks him. She's like, I get it. Let me guess. You're tired. You're done. And then at the end to be like, you look exhausted. It's it's so good. It's so fucking good. And just the softness, the empathy, it's a different form of intimacy, but it was intimate, to be like, that saying that way. Oh my God, I loved it. The fact that actress hasn't done anything else blows my fucking mind.
Man, yeah, that's why they're building, I feel like, to something. I don't know. And it has to either be that, I don't know. I feel like I really want to watch that part back and like see what she said, or like whenever she's like, Luthen knows, sort of thing, because I don't think Luthen could have known. Like, how did she when did she have time to actually let him know? Or like, I feel like she literally told him through the Force somehow, or like that's kind of where I'm going down the Force.
When does she say
route.
That?
It's like they're like, I think it's Vel, Cassian. Is it Vel there? I don't know if Vel. They're like outside somewhere. It's near the end, and she just goes.
I thought it was the safe house. She might have said that.
Not quite. I think it was before the safe house, before they got to the safe house for some reason. Or maybe it's after they're outside. They're outside on like a loading dock or like a I don't know. But she says like, no, Luthen knows. And she says it in a way, she's like looking down and like focusing while
Luthen knows what? I guess I don't remember that.
That's it's Luthen like, don't worry, Luthen knows that like Cassian, or that like we have Mon, or like that some, oh my gosh, that's why I can't believe it. I wish I had Disney Plus on my computer. I don't. I only have it on my TV, so it's like I could try to pull it up. But man, it's why.
Yeah, I guess that's why I'm not going with you here, because I just don't remember what you're talking about.
Man, it was the only time, like, I never thought of her as Force sensitive at all, but she was looking down, like, focusing, and like, I don't know, and not saying a word, and then someone said something to her, and she's like, oh, don't worry, Luthen knows, I think is the line, or like,
that's why, like, I feel like I vaguely remember what you're talking about, because the loading dock stuff, Luthen is there for. Which is why I'm like, I don't
Luthen's
think it can
not
be
here.
that.
Yeah, no, he's not there. I guess during this. So, yeah, it's like, man.
Like, and the only place Clea is near the end of the episode is the safe house, and before that she is with Luthen at the loading dock. So like,
it's because it's like daytime,
and Vel
like
is over on Yavin.
Yeah, I don't know why Vel rung a bell. That I think that could be wrong there, but it's
here. I'm rewatching the scene with them all at the.
It's so, but she's like, I don't. Man, I can't. I guess there was just so much going on there at the end. There's
a lot. I also love during that moment when Erskine and Mon reunite. And Mon's kind of like, you know what, I get it. Like all of a sudden she gets it a little bit more than she ever has. You know, she's like, she forgives him a little bit in that moment.
Yeah.
I can't believe you made it. You must be exhausted, Clea says. I'm just kind of fishing through the scene a little bit. And then when he asks, is he back there? I thought he was talking about Luthen. And then they get back there and it's Wilman, which was a huge relief. Loved seeing Wilman alive. Also, love that Wilman is just a lover, dude.
Bro is
everywhere he goes. He's not a playboy. He doesn't fuck around. No, he goes places and he falls in love. I love that. That's awesome. I love Wilman.
I don't know. I was hoping to see like she was like, no, I'm pregnant or something like that. I don't know, like a reveal or something like that. Bro is just actually trying to, I don't know, just make it anywhere. He's a. Yeah, he is a lover there. I think it is at the safe house. I'm kind of looking through the episode now, and she's looking out the window. No, she says. Mon asks if Luthen got arrested, and he goes, no, he's safe. He knows you made it here. Yeah.
We've had plenty of time.
Yeah, so I don't know why. Why did I get the sense that she wasn't? I don't know. She's not even looking down or focusing super hard either. She's just kind of like.
Yeah, I'm glad we revisited that, because I all due respect, I had genuinely no idea what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's why I felt like it was. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking earlier.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know. Maybe there's some. I don't know. I feel like it would just be kind of sick if that is the Force kind of link. She's not like a Jedi or anything, or she's, because we have like this Force healer now. You know, like we're not seeing people who if they're Force sensitive, they have to be Jedi, and even like someone like Cassian, he's not Force sensitive, but definitely a vessel of like the Force,
the Force surrounds him strongly.
So it feels like,
and Bix believes that too, which I think is cool too. Bix continues to be my favorite character of season 2.
Damn it, yeah.
Now she's the one with clarity of purpose, and I think that's beautiful. You know, kind of like going, I have to leave. You know, I love you, but this is what has to happen, and I love it, man. And just knowing it's the right thing to do. Being assured in herself that it is the way to go is just...
She has that feeling in her bones. That's why, like, I really, really hope they're not pulling the rug and it's Luthen just getting him more in the cause. This felt so good and so genuine that, like, it has to be. But Bix, like, when she was giving that message, I guess, to him, it felt like she wanted to say something a little bit more at the end. And maybe it was just like she wanted to end it with "I love you" or something, but maybe it's like it's even too hard for her to say because she knows she has to leave, and if she says that, it's like
she says "I love you."
Is it at the very end? Or maybe it's
I don't think it's at the very end, but I do think she says "I love you."
Then there's I don't know. There's this lingering. She wants to say something at the end, and it's like I wonder. That was the only time where I'm like, I hope there's not like I don't know. There is some.
No, I think that's just I do think from a dramatic point of view in general, when you are dealing with television, you could be onto something there, but when it comes to this show specifically and the integrity they've handled most things with, I severely doubt this is something that's trying to lead us astray.
Yeah.
I do believe that I don't necessarily believe that Bix is just going to go off and, live peacefully. I do think there's a chance she fights for the rebellion in a different way, just not on Yavin. So we could see her in a capacity with Luthen next week, but I don't think it's because of Luthen that she does this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she does. She is choosing the rebellion, but is it like because of Cassian removing herself that she's choosing the rebellion and stuff, or is she saying like, no, I'm going hard in too. We just can't be together.
It's because of Cassian. Yeah. It is because of Cassian, but I don't think those are necessarily mutually exclusive. I think that because she's choosing this for Cassian, I don't think it eliminates the possibility of her continuing the fight in her own way. But what it does do is assure me a little bit more that she will make it out, which is nice. If she was going to die, it would have been with Cassian, I think. So, thank God.
Yeah, it's a good, at least right now, she's kind of written where she has to be MIA. Like, she can't be found by Cassian kind of now. I think this is the last time he ever hears from Bix. Yeah,
which is sad. But it is, just the fact that she says, I will find you again, and we will do it when it's all over, when the Empire is defeated, when we win. We will do everything we ever wanted to do. They never get that chance. They never see each other again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's got to be the case, or else that's the kind of place where I would feel a little like, is like if next week they see each other. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
I just don't think that's going to happen. But what it does do is assure me that epilogue-wise, like I've brought up a couple times, I do think I think there's a possibility we don't see Bix at all until an epilogue. You know what I'm saying? Like everything resolves itself, and then epilogue we get, maybe a little Mon something, maybe a little Bix something, maybe a little Clea something. Yeah,
I wonder. I don't know if Bix is more on the behind the scenes thing, or if she still wants to be like in the front lines and kind of doing shit like she
I don't know.
She was, because we don't know her past,
that like when it comes to I brought up the epilogue thing a couple times, and I just feel like when it comes to the characters who will live, and I don't know how many we have of those, like next week we've still got Luthen on the table, we still got Vel on the table, Wilman, I'm a little worried for Wilman. Pretty much every week I feel like he's gonna die.
Yeah, it's gonna be some girl that gets him too. I feel like he's gonna I'm glad no one died this time. Like the last time Brasso died because of his lover dreams, and his he just can't leave. But this time I feel like everyone got out. Everyone actually got out unscathed.
It seemed like it. It seemed like it. Well, and I also love that Brasso, having died, didn't discourage him from pursuing that.
Yeah. He's just,
like the spirit that Wilman possesses wasn't deterred. He doesn't feel like that was his fault, and he shouldn't. It wasn't his fault, like it was a
beautiful thing they had. The love they had was the good thing there. Yeah,
it was, and I love that he's willing to pursue it, even though he knows historically, and maybe that's why he tells Cassian, "No, leave." Like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'll find you. So like as I I really love the expansion on Willman this season. I am worried for him.
That's true.
But I think it would be very, very beautiful if Bix and Willman end up back on Ferrix post-Empire. I think that would be awesome.
Man. And they had the perfect opportunity to put B's processing unit into K2 here. Epic Frankenstein scene, by the way, of like turning them on.
Very good.
That was awesome. But like, and now that I can't believe I didn't see this, but like how a K2 unit, like, or KX unit held him and like choked him up against the wall and like arrested him, is like the truck did that this time with the it was kind of the opposite way. There's no way a human could have done that and actually like choke holding him up. So I felt
there's always a bigger fish.
Yeah. And so that I was gonna say that it felt a little forced. So like that was the only thing that I was kind of like, But now the more I'm looking at it, it's like, it's actually kind of cool. That he's
I liked that a lot. I also, one great love exits, one great the love of his life enters. Bix leaves, K2 enters. I do love I'm excited to have K2SO next week. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Bro's already there.
Gonna be around,
like he's already accented up. Like I feel like I thought we'd have to
Alan
get through
Tudyk
some growing
is voicing
pains.
that guy.
Yeah.
Well, and that's another thing too. Is there's a little bit of an assurance for me. Maybe Bix goes back to Mina Rao. Maybe that's where she goes back to. Maybe she just goes back there and kicks it with B and Brasso's lady.
True. Yeah.
That'd be cool. But I don't know the Empire's hold on that planet. What's going on there? I don't know. That's always kind of hard to determine. But what that does assure me of, given that K2 and B are not one, which, okay, cool, fuck it. There is not a fucking shot that the last time we saw B was the last time we saw B.
Oh, wait. Is there a chance that Bix, I don't know, it'd be really fast, she'd have to go in the night back there, grab B, like, is that actually B in there, and Bix did this as like her final, I don't know,
no shot.
I was trying to like, I want B to be in there so bad, but like,
no, he's not, which it does at least preserve B to not do the sacrifice play, which means B could live through all of it.
That's true. I was dooming him to die before, but now he actually lives on through. Okay, that might be better.
He gets to remember Cassian and Marva and everybody. That's why, and Brasso, and that's why I do think that Bix, B, and Willman probably end up back together somehow.
Yep. Whether in stone form or not, we'll see, whether the humans are in stone. But I feel like that
the idea of them rebuilding Ferrix kind of and starting with Brasso and Marva's bricks would be fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
I love the bells that's like being rung in the title sequence, and it's like the tower at Ferrix.
Yeah.
And that tower is like mostly made of bricks there, and like I'd love if like ringing those bells just like makes the bricks hum and sing too, and like it just like awakes their
vibrates the whole tower.
It just it wakes up their spirit sort of thing, and I want there to be like
I love
this...
that's the gong at the beginning of the episodes every time too.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like we have to go back to Ferrix at least for like a last, I don't know, something.
That's why I really, and the only way I see us going back to Ferrix, which I do, is in that epilogue format. I don't think we have much story to tell there beyond rebuilding, beyond starting over. And I think that's a real possibility for Bix. Have you known him long? I don't remember a time without him. That's, oh man, God, dude. Fucking A.
Yeah, it's just good ass like intimate writing, and it's I love the bigger stories that are told, the space opera and it going crazy, but this is I don't know.
The relationships, the intimacy, the beauty between the connection of two people is just always going to hit for me, and the fact that they did give Cassian romance this season, really takes it to another level for me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very satisfied, and I think that this arc was the best the show's had to offer yet.
We got 3 more episodes. Like it
Man,
I am
we've
done.
got one more week of Andor ever.
Like I'm already good. I'm like, it could end here and I could watch Rogue One and I feel like I'm good. It's like, that's why we could have quite the epilogue. I don't know, like how maybe it is just tying up a couple of these loose ends, but like 3 episodes worth. I'm usually in the opposite direction of how the fuck are they going to finish this shit? Like that's usually the Disney Plus question of like, dang, we only have 2 episodes left. How are they going to tie all this up? But I'm like, what more
How do
are
I
they
have
going to
3
do?
episodes left?
Yeah. It's like, I'm satisfied. So
and that's the thing too, is that gives me a lot of hope. The amount of freedom we have next week is great. You know, like the degree of cluelessness, because we were building the whole season to the Gorman Massacre. You know, we were building the whole season to the Gorman Massacre and Mon Mothma leaving the Senate.
Oh, I just had the thought. Do we finally get the recast of Leia? No AI bullshit. We get the daughter. We get the real.
I would really like that. I would really like that, and it would make it.
Oh my god! I didn't even think of Leia. Holy shit!
That would be cool. I would like that.
Ooh, I don't need it,
and it wouldn't feel unnatural either. She's a leader in the rebellion. Like she's on Yavin. We know that she's been there. It's not like it's some.
It would make her
impossible thing.
Yeah. She is the cameo kind of, for, you know, or like she gives the last line of Rogue One. You know, it's like kind of if she isn't in the show, it's kind of better to build that version up. But
it would kind of parallel Vader and Leia a little bit as being kind of the last resort on one side and the other. And I do think that. Like, I don't think Leia should be in the show strictly. I'm just saying that, like, I could see it. I could see them pulling through with it. However, I do also understand if Tony Gilroy felt that's kind of untouchable. Like, kind of just, we're going to leave that be.
I don't know. Would you rather have a real face to a Leia, you know, just an actual
doesn't change the fact that we got the one that we have.
That's true. Yeah. That's
you know,
true.
like, it doesn't erase that, but... No, I mean, I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I wouldn't love it. I would really appreciate Leia being a part of this series in the final arc. I think that would be super cool. But I do think that even though it is a CGI lifeless image that we're seeing in Rogue One, the idea that she, you know, what have they brought us? Hope. That being like the only thing heading into the trilogy kind of fits.
It's what it's all about. Like that is Cassian's story. Yeah, I don't know. It's like this is the bellhop. I don't know. Is that the first time that Cassian has ever heard that line? Like rebellions are built on hope, or did Nemec say it before, or like is this?
That's what I was trying to remember. I don't remember if it was in Nemec's manifesto. I don't think it was.
I guess it's just. I feel like it. I feel like the moment they made it, it felt like it was like I don't know it felt like it was quite the moment for it was a moment for Cassian and the bellhop himself. Like they both were. I don't know. They had this realization, but
okay, yeah, it didn't pop up in season 1. So yeah, this was the first time canonically Cassian has heard it. Which is very, very cool. The little impacts everybody has on each other along the way.
These Immune or it's the Force. I don't know. Whatever it is, the universe at large sort of thing. Can it be real? Like, I don't know. It's like it does seem that Cassian's fate is sealed a little bit, but not really. It's like Cassian can still make his own decisions, which I feel like that's part of his. That's like his only struggle is that he doesn't want to be like on this defined path, or like he wants to be the one in control of his own actions, sort of thing, and not
the moment I have to ask permission to come and go is the moment I'm gone.
And you know, at the end, it obviously all that doesn't matter. It's like it's all for naught, but like that line of thinking is gone. He's like, no, the sacrifice I'm making is worth it here. Like it all, I don't know, it all led to this, which is insane. And it's like his fate is sealed in a way, but no, he has the free will to do what he wants. It's just the Force will, kind of correct if he goes a little too out of line. I don't know. It's like, say Cassian truly, I don't know, had something where he just was fucked off the deep end. Do you think the Force completely corrects and needs it to happen, or it finds someone new, sort of thing, or like these will never be answered. It's just
no, yeah. I mean, like, it's just. I think the way the Force works fundamentally is a guide, not a not a sealed fate. You know. I think it sees I think the reason it's chosen Cassian is because it knows he'll see it through. Not because I don't think it's because they've chosen somebody they're forcing to see it through. Like Cassian is the one capable of doing it and willing to do it, and therefore it is who the Force has decided it should do it.
I like that. Yeah, it's like
I don't. It is determined by the person, not by the Force.
Oh, yeah. It's this. I guess I don't know. It's now I'm getting into the weeds of how the Force works, and I shouldn't really try to figure it out. It's and just let it be the mysterious, the writer's room, being so beautiful. But it at least this is the most beautiful the Force has ever been written to me, because it's the most beautiful Star Wars that's ever been written. Like it is just the writing of the show, not that the what George built all these years ago or whatever. It's just kind of the perfect vessel to tell these stories.
Well, and I think that there's also something to the idea that the Force, as it pertains to people who do not have it, might be more interesting than the people who do have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way it affects people who are not Force sensitive, like Han Solo, and the way he evolves to kind of believe in it. And, like that sort of like that is more interesting to me than a Jedi who always had it and there's no question about it.
And they know.
It deals with the... Go ahead, sorry.
I mean, it's more of like a Jedi, they have that question answered. It's like they know the Force is real. Like they are using it to their will almost, but everyone else, it's like they want that question answered. Like the Jedi...
It's a matter of faith, It's a matter of faith. That's what I love about... I'm not a religious person, but I've always really enjoyed stories about faith. I think that, and not the Christian propaganda that you'll find in a movie theater sold out for some fucking reason on a Tuesday night, like you're like, oh, I didn't even know this movie was out. The Sword of the Savior or whatever the fuck, You're
in Midwest United States of America. Yeah, I think that's
exactly,
a prime target
Oh,
audience.
Wow, there's no seats available in this. I didn't want to see it anyway, but morbid curiosity. But, so I'm not talking about that, but, stories that deal with crisis of faith and, Last Temptation of Christ. And, it's a small part, but even there's a part of Forrest Gump where, Lieutenant Dan finds Jesus. I find it very moving whenever he does, like it's a beautiful part of that movie.
It's just everyone has their own rebellion. Everyone has their own faith, sort of thing.
Everyone has their own path, and I think that that's kind of what's beautiful about maybe dealing with the Force and a guiding hand and a quote unquote God like the Force, divine intervention and kind of accepting it and surrendering yourself to it, and that's what Bix does. And that's what makes Bix so interesting.
It can only be good. Just let it in, or something. Whatever she said, and it was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Like everything that's said, all the sacrifices being made, it's insane that we're getting this, and I love that Star Wars has evolved as I've just grown up. I I never thought it would reach this kind of level, but thank you for going more this is not for kids. If I showed this to my niece, she would hate it, which is crazy. It's just simply not meant for kids. But like I am fully in. Like this is the shit I wish could continue year after year. If it could, but man, I don't know. I'm on my philosophy game. I'm thinking of faith, the Force, just Cassian. I don't know. I know this dude's dead. I know, I don't know. I know Saul's dead. I know Jin's dead. And Jin's not. I don't know. Do we get Jin? Do we actually pop up? I don't know. Do we get the flip? I wonder if that's actually possible. If we're getting Galen, maybe we get, I don't know, a little bit more of Jin before the movie as well.
That could be interesting. what put her in that prison transport she's on whenever they come to break her out.
Yeah. That could be interesting. I didn't think, I guess she is the other kind of half of that movie there. And, I mean, we're obviously telling Cassian's story here. It would, I don't know. I don't need a full, complete rush up on Jyn, I don't think, before Rogue One. But it would, I don't know, it would be nice to see her.
Well, something that I'm surprised by and intrigued by, and I mean, I guess I'm not surprised by it, but the timeline. Jyn grew up with Saw. Like Saw came and got her off the planet. And then raised her.
Yeah.
Saw was like her dad. A really crazy Rido addicted father figure.
Yeah, what is
so my guess is that she's already left his side, kind of like, and that's why she's not in the show at all. Because when Saw sees her in Rogue One, it is kind of a reunion. He's like, Jyn, like, oh, it's been so long.
Man, and that seeing Saw's end, that's going to be insane too. Like it rewrites everyone in the goddamn show, and it's
I expect that he'll be like his descent into madness will be kind of like finalized next week.
Yeah, I mean he's going to be like, look, I'm right. Look, like he's going to use the Gorman massacre as like, look, I don't know, or just use it to fuel
what they're capable of.
Fuel it even more. Yeah, so I feel like he's. We have clarity of purpose, kind of going all around. His has been long ago. This dude's, so
he is certain.
But man, but Bix, I don't know. She is the true kind of wild card now. Like I thought she was donezo, and now it's like no, she actually has to make it out in order for that line to really really hit.
And I think I have very little doubt she will. I actually don't anticipate seeing her a lot next week.
Yeah. Man, yeah, I guess Cassian at least can't.
I do anticipate Luthen and Cassian's relationship, I think will kind of be finalized. I don't believe the last time Cassian sees Luthen was this week. Do you
think Mon
Luthen says, when I've needed you, you've been there. Aldani, you were there. All that's like I think we get one last one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This I feel like people are kind of leaving Luthen though.
That was 100% what happened.
Mon, I feel like it's not like Luthen's an enemy or anything like that, but I think it's just kind of like Mon is above that now. She is the main fucking the big deal. I don't know. Yeah, that speech was just awesome.
Yeah, she's gonna be on Yavin. That's not where Luthen belongs. That's where he's decided he is not meant to go. And
I wonder what Luthen does, because he doesn't feel like the one that will just sit and rest or whatever.
I think
he's
that
going down.
Yeah, we're going down in a hail of fire next week with Luthen. I think that there's some sort that's what I love, is that I genuinely have no fucking clue where we're going next week. They've told us how it ends, and I have no idea how we get there.
Could he I'm trying to think of something that they could give him that's crazy, but I was thinking Alderaan. Why would Tarkin pick Alderaan? It's like Leia's just right there, and Tarkin's just a fucking piece of shit. And it's I don't think Luthen would have stirred it. No, it's there's nothing that you could really give Luthen to make a big reveal or anything. So it's I feel like he just has to go. He just has to have go down in a way that's kind of badass or something.
And that's what I kind of anticipate. I think that we get. I think we'll have another normal rebellion mission. It's just the context of it being the end of the series that'll make it a big deal. And that'll be that. That's why I'm I don't know what to expect, man.
Maybe Deidre, because she's hardcore on Luthen. Well, does Axis even really matter anymore? It's it's out of the bag. It's actually there's no point in being secretive and stuff anymore. So it's that's Deidre doesn't really feel like much of a worry for them. Like maybe she just has a personal vendetta out for them, and she will make herself the problem.
Well, yeah, and they kind of emphasize how much she actually cared about Cyril this week, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. She she had complete control over him, so like there was never any worry, or like she was just like, it is what it is. But then once he just started, I don't know, being a little autonomous, he started to have some thoughts for himself. She was like, oh shit, like this, I don't know, I don't like that. And then him being like, no, he left the building. She's like, oh shit, no, go. Like she like wanted to walk outside. So it was. I thought that their relationship was purely, I don't know, just whatever for her. It was just because it's another piece on the board for her a little bit. But I don't know. It did seem that she does have some human nature to her, that panic attack.
For sure. It's not a hollow chest in that tin can she's rocking, but
yeah. God, can we, I don't know. Yeah, get her just a normal, like let her wear something normal for once, and maybe that's her wake up call, is like, oh my God, my uniform is so ugly. Like this is,
she threw on that black dress to meet Edie and all that good stuff,
That's true. That's true.
No, I think she's done, man. I think she's too far gone. I think that she's going to reaffirm her commitment to the Empire because she has to make it worth it, I think she's the kind of person who will go, the rebels made me this way. The Empire, the Empire's one thing, but we're only like this because the rebels are like that. And that's completely diluted, but I do think that that's ultimately where she's going to end up, and that's where she has to justify it in her head.
That's true. Yeah, she's got to make sense of it somehow. I mean, it could just be really sad, and she can't handle it anymore. And I don't know. I don't know where the show's going. I don't want to throw a suicide or anything.
I did think she was going to kill herself at the end. Yeah. I thought that's where we were heading.
Because like Partagaz seems to kind of, I don't know, like I thought the plan was to actually kill everyone involved. Like, we have to kill Cyril. We have to kill Deidre. Like, and Partagaz knew this from the beginning of, like, we can't even, once this mission is over, everyone who knew about it has to be, gone, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, maybe that is I don't know, maybe Deidre, she does maybe threaten Partagaz, or even just mention like, I'll go public, or like I'll say what we did here, or something like that, and then it's like, well, okay, you just sealed your fate, like now you're dead, sort of thing. Or
very well.
So yeah. And I don't know, I recognized one of the guards, another Maester in the Game of Thrones realm.
Yeah, Grand Maester, or the one from House of the Dragon.
Is it Orwell
or something like that?
Yeah, I was like, man, where do I know that guy from? And it's
we also got one of the senators is in something else, and I cannot put my finger on it.
The
one of the
ones senator?
No, not the Gorman senator. The one that's like he was a big tubby dude. Who spoke on like the martyrs at the
Oh yeah, what was that dude? Oh my gosh, he had the voice.
It was the voice, and I mean, just the way he looked. It was kind of everything about him. I got to find it because
it was Welcome to the Rebellion, right? Like it was last episode.
Nicholas Blaine.
Okay. Yeah. What?
The Spice King in Game of Thrones.
No.
The one
way.
the one that where. He's at
yes, at Koth. No, not Koth.
Koth, the greatest city that ever was or ever will be. Yeah, that's him.
He had the vault that had nothing in it, or
no, that was Zaro Zomendaxis.
That's
but
right. Not him.
He was around them. Yeah, he was right there with them.
Yeah, Koth. Wow.
Okay, glad we figured that, because I was like, I know it's Game of Thrones, but I don't know when. And he was the Spice King. Okay, cool.
Okay, we got Orwell and Koth, City Boy.
Koth,
okay,
the Spice King.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably some more. Game of Thrones is everywhere, I feel like.
It's all over the place. But that was, they have a lot of crossover with Game of Thrones in this show. We got Melshi back very briefly here.
Hey. His gun, and Vel just kind of picking out his gun. That's kind of cool. It just felt kind of right. And I'm assuming that I guess we're jumping a year. I don't know, but maybe Melshi and and Cassian are just kicking it. They're fighting
maybe
the shit together now.
Yeah, maybe Melshi, Cassian, and K or K2 are going on missions together. That'd be pretty cool. I could get with that.
It just but he's like, the second I need permission is the day I'm gone. So it's like, what is he doing? You know, he'll probably do the missions they tell him to do, but what is he doing on his own accord? What is he going out to do himself? I feel like
he has to make it worth it. Bix leaving consigned him to the rebellion. He has to make it worth it. Her leaving would be meaningless if he didn't commit to this. So I think that's kind of, I don't think there is anything on his own anymore. I think that he is a rebel, you know. This was it. We even get kind of a similar outfit and a similar look on his face whenever he's decided to go back to Ferrix and he's looking out over the water at the end of episode 10, I think. And we get that shot of him with the sky in the background. We kind of get a similar shot of him this week when he's like looking around looking for Bix and stuff. I think that's kind of that's where we're at. I think that he knows his next move, and it's to stay here. You know, like there's no choice.
Man, yeah, I guess he's got K2 and Melshi now, so that's it's not the one he wanted. You know, I don't think he. No offense to Melshi in K2, but it's like, yeah, Bix was
I'd rather have Bix too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, goddamn, whenever she walked, like when he came home after the woman, and she just walked out, a fucking angel descended from that bedroom. I
Dude,
don't know,
whenever the beginning of this episode, whenever he's got that burn on his shoulder, and he's like, "What are you gonna do?" And she goes, "Anything I want." I was like, "God damn!" You know, like, I was like,
Wilman walking up. Yeah, if Wilman did not walk up right there,
that's the sexiest Star Wars has ever been, bro. That was crazy.
I want to see those next 30 seconds if Wilman didn't walk up. It's like, God damn it, Wilman. You, I don't know. That was,
you fucking,
yeah. But
you fucking child. No, I'm just kidding.
At least I don't know. It was cool to see that he didn't stick with Saw. I thought he was maybe going to go fully down and the Rido path.
I thought he was
too.
Saw the whole time. I think that's an interesting way to kind of pick up his story after the last time we saw him.
Too much of a lover, I guess, bro. Is not enough love on the Saw train.
I think that is just kind of the heart of it. He's too sentimental to roll with Saw. Now, how he got away from Saw, don't fully understand how that's possible.
Yeah, that's
Saw doesn't tend to let people leave.
I wonder if it was he was so valuable, him, because Rhydonium is clearly very valuable to Saw, and maybe him just like he taught a shit ton of enough people to where he could finally leave. He's like, hey, I taught 4 people how to do this shit now, or whatever. Like, you don't need me anymore, or like whatever. And maybe Saw still is like, nah, you can't go. But he's his main Rhino supplier.
Who, when people want to leave, he kills them because they've seen too much.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm like,
has the game changed though now that the rebellion's just kind of open and out? I guess, but that happened now and not whenever he let him go.
Yeah, I'm like, it was a year ago or whatever. Like, that's why I'm like, like, they are leaving a lot of room for exploration, probably via novel, I would guess.
The many loves of Wilman, the
Wilman Pock story.
The 18 children that Wilman, the Jedi, the next Jedi
Sire,
population. Yeah. Yes, he just supplied the next Force sensitives through pure love.
Bro's got fucking Mac game out the ass. This
everywhere
is the Rizzler.
He goes.
This is Star Wars Rizzler.
Yes, no matter where he uses the rebellion as his Riz. It's just that what better. We're in the fight together.
I am one with the Riz and the Riz is with me. I am one with the Riz and the Riz is with me.
Yes. Oh my God. I need Wilman to, I don't know, in real life, like just to accept this role. Oh my God, his last name is Amor. You're kidding me. His real last name is Amor? Fuck. The dude is just a lover. I mean, he's just
or king.
Yeah, no, isn't that to love? Or my love in Spanish is Amor?
Amor, yeah.
Man, yeah, this dude he's made for it. He was just perfect casting. But no, I do like the idea.
And this is the only thing he's been in aside from a TV movie from 2018 about Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. Huh. That, interesting. What a jump. Quite the leap, I feel like, to go. Well, no offense against Mariah Carey, I guess, but
no, it was the part is that it was a TV movie. Like that's a TV movie that you can't watch anywhere.
And now Andor, the greatest Star Wars that's ever been made, and put on, well, not television quite, but on streaming that could get taken away scarily enough, if they wanted
on
to.
Screen. They'll do the second season on Blu-ray 4K.
That's true. I guess
they did the first season. So
that's true. That's nice. That's nice. Is Skelly Crew? Did I get that treatment at all? Is there any?
It hasn't yet. They didn't announce the Andor 4K until like a year and a half after it had premiered, though. So it could be a while.
I feel like they're confident.
Yeah, they don't
on this
do
one.
that shit immediately by any stretch. I think the only one that's gotten that treatment immediately was Mando season 3 and Ahsoka.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I need this one. Would be, I don't know. I feel like this one they'll be way more confident. Hopefully, I don't know. It comes quick to build off the hype, and I don't know.
That would be nice.
Marketing, I feel like it makes sense for them to do it quicker with season 2, but I don't know.
I could see them waiting until award season.
To rebuild the hype. True. That's nice. I don't
announce it when the awards are around the corner.
There's too much going. It's like a spy game. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's all the marketing shit. That's why I'm not in that business. I don't know when the best time to do things.
It's beyond me. Yeah, but dude, Tony. Yeah, this was the shit. It was another great week, another great episode, another great set of episodes, I should say. I also wanted to touch on something here at the end. A little bit more Star Wars happened the last couple days in the reading side of things. We got the ACOLYTE Wayseeker released yesterday, which is about Endara, Master Endara, meeting and working with Vernestra. Much younger Endara. I think she's mid-20s. And Vernestra's a Wayseeker, kind of an adventurer going off doing her own thing, and kind of mentoring her. I've read a few chapters, and I'm really, really loving it. Well worth your time if you were a fan of the ACOLYTE. And if you were a fan of the ACOLYTE, you should be reading the High Republic in general. But yeah, so it's another High Republic-based story. It's connecting kind of the literary side of the High Republic with the ACOLYTE, which is very, very cool. It's written by Justina Ireland, who created Vernestra Row in the first place, so it's very, very cool to see that kind of paying off. And then today was the launch of the new run of Star Wars comics. Star Wars #1 started over today with the story now being set after Return of the Jedi. We are in the era of the New Republic. So I'm definitely going to be getting on that as soon as possible. Didn't get a chance to read it. But reading-wise, we got some good stuff this week. Wayseeker, the start of Star Wars, the new comic run. I cannot wait. Everybody check those out when you get a chance.
I still got to get back in the reading game myself. I still haven't even finished the Plagueis book, which is sad. That I started that, I think, at the beginning of this semester. But I don't know. I'm getting the Sith side.
I have the feeling that this summer we may be able to swing a little something in this void of Star Wars stuff with maybe comics or something. I think that could be fun.
Yes.
Maybe some comics or reading. I think, because ever since I got my new job, I'm a big audiobook guy, and I don't drive a lot anymore. So, like, I have a tough time figuring out when to get my reading in. And I think that if I had assigned reading that I want to do, not like somebody else assigns it to me, I think I could get down with it a little bit more. But regardless, that's a story for another day.
Man, okay.
Yeah, Andor, man, I'm loving it. I can't believe we're 1 week away from it being over.
I know.
But man, I'm gonna cherish it. I'm gonna cherish this shit because it's good. It's the good stuff.
But
yeah, do you have anything else to say?
I don't know if they'll up it. I'm not. It's kind of crazy if they up this arc. I felt like this is what they were building.
There's no fucking way.
This is what they were building to. It's what the whole point of everything is. I feel like it's to tie the bow, the last arc. But man, yeah, I'm already satisfied with the show. So yeah, it's whatever they have. This is just the cherry on top for season 2. And then that Rogue One watch is going to be ooh, it's gonna be a late night.
Fucking stupid.
Because I think there's no way I'm not gonna
go
be able
right
to,
into it.
Like,
I'm going right into it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, what a we don't. At least it kind of sucks that I can't just wake up tomorrow and have it. But maybe it's nice to let it soak.
It's nice to have the week, let it soak in, let it stew. I'm ready for it, and we'll be back next week with the final 3 episodes of Andor ever. Cannot wait for that. Cannot wait to discuss it. I will hopefully have done a little bit more damage on Wayseeker. I might be able to do a review for you then. And that'll be that. So,
hell yeah.
With that, we will conclude this episode of Fulcrum, a Star Wars podcast. We're doing a few other things. We've got the Cinementalists, our movie podcast, going right now. Mission Impossible is nearing an end for us. This Friday is Mission Impossible Fallout, the 6th movie in the franchise. Dead Reckoning is next week, and then we're seeing the final Reckoning in theaters Thursday the 22nd. Our episode will be out on the official release day, the 23rd of the movie, so I'm very, very excited for that. We've got Fire Pod with me, a Twin Peaks podcast going right now. We are a little bit into season 2. Cannot wait to pick that back up. You guys got to go ahead and check that out. If you've never watched Twin Peaks, it's the podcast for you. If you have watched Twin Peaks, it's the podcast for you. It's friendly to the first-time viewer and rewatcher alike. I'm the rewatcher. Joe is the first-time viewer, and we're having a great time covering Twin Peaks. So you got to check that out. And that's kind of everything we've got going on. I've got ideas, and I haven't really pitched them to Joe yet. I'm going to talk to him about them in a little bit, but yeah, we got stuff on the horizon. I'm very excited. Stick with us on all of our stuff, and you won't be disappointed. But yeah, with that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, rebellions are built on hope.